Yeah, so the second topic here is going to be all about Fire Emblem Fates. So, like I mentioned earlier in the episode, I'm jumping way out of my comfort zone, starting to play this game. I've never played any strategy games in the same vein as Fire Emblem. Jordan, what did you call the technical term of the genre that Fire Emblem would be? An SJRPG or?
Technically, yeah, it is a JRPG, but it's not like a straightforward JRPG like, Final Fantasy. So,
Right, right.
yeah, it's a strategy Japanese role-playing game, I guess.
So yeah, again, this is like way out of my comfort zone. But after picking up a 3DS about a year ago, I mean, when you ask people for suggestions, well, what games are good on this? It's like always Fire Emblem
Wait, you
is in
didn't
the
buy a
top three.
Vita? Jordan's gonna be mad.
Yeah. But yeah, so far, like I adore this game. It's addicting in the weirdest kind of way. So I mean, the gameplay is I was kind of I didn't know what to expect. So essentially, like in between each of the battles that you go through, and each battle is kind of what you picture. You're moving your guys around the battlefield, like chess pieces, basically. Um, so in between each battle, I mean, you're basically just getting monologue, like just story, just dialogue getting thrown at you. So there's not any kind of like overworld or anything of like in that nature. You're just kind of going from battle to battle.
Hmm.
In each battle, so I started with Birthrights, which is the easier of the two. Conquest is the harder one, and then Revelations apparently is a whole third campaign, which is kind of a mixture of the two apparently.
Okay.
And then so since I'm such a beginner, I obviously went with Birthright and went on the normal difficulty, but also set it so when your characters die, I get them back at the next round.
Okay. Yeah.
Because let me tell you, if you played with permadeath on,
Yeah,
I would be done. Like I would have to start over. You know what I mean?
Well, I
I
don't
heard it
blame you. You've
sucks,
never
yeah.
played this style of game. If you were like,
right.
I play every Fire Emblem's game. I'm a diehard fan. I'd be like, really? And you're going baby's first route. But the fact that
Right.
you haven't never played them, it's like you just don't want to get your teeth pounded in right away. You're not playing Fire Emblem Dark Souls, so it's like,
Yeah, exactly. And because it's so dependent on like forward thinking, it really is like chess. Like you gotta not just think about what you're going to do next, but what the AI is going to do next as a result of. There's a lot of different factors. It really stretches your brain a little bit. Even in Birthright on one of the easier modes. Um, so it's fun and it's also rewarding when it pays off. But yeah, definitely. If you're just starting out, don't play with permadeath. Definitely go with Birthright. And not Conquest. But yeah, so far I'm loving it. I'm in. Like I'm fully in. I'm addicted. And I'm gonna play through the campaign, and I'll probably get Conquest afterward, and maybe I'll move up and turn permadeath on at that point. But we'll
don't
see.
yeah, don't count your chickens. For me, the last Fire Emblem's game I played was the one on Game Boy Advance, which I don't even remember which one that was. It was a long time ago. Um, but have you heard of Massive Chalice, Jordan?
I have.
What about you, Dom?
It sounds familiar, but not
So
enough.
Massive Chalice is technically like Fire Emblem in the sense of like it is a chess game in motion, right? Very hard. But it takes like you pick these families and then you can customize the family names and then you play throughout the game and you have to make sure your territories don't get taken over and they have kids and then they grow old, so if they die their kids take over and it's kind of like you're managing these people and you're also managing fights. So I'd really be interested to see what your take was on Massive Chalice because it does do things that Fire Emblem does right. It's a really solid game, but it's not super story driven. But the strategy point is there. Like I really enjoy that game because it is like a chess game, right? So I'd just be interested. It was free on Xbox, Games with Gold. I don't know if it came to PS Plus or not. As far as
It
that,
did.
it did.
Just canceled gold, yeah.
Yeah, it's a cool game. It's in that kind of Fire Emblem vein, and yeah, it's an interesting experience. But I haven't played a Fire Emblem game in a very long time. But the reviews I heard of these were that they were what people wanted, and they delivered on that. So that's really good to hear.
So yeah, I mean, when I was deciding whether or not I wanted to pick it up, I mean, looking at reviews, I'm like, what the heck is going on here? This like the worst. Like, I mean, obviously the 3DS I think is like a super low resolution screen, and
The vast library.
and it just kind of looks like the gameplay. It just looks. I'm like, what? Someone being an outsider, I'm like, what the heck is going on here? Like, but when you get into it, the story is good enough. It's engaging enough to pull you in. But yeah, I really am enjoying it. This is coming from someone who has had zero knowledge of the series or even the genre beforehand. So if you're hesitant and you want a 3DS, you should almost definitely pick up Fire Emblem.
Yeah, so it's like if somebody's interested in those games, it will definitely be a hit. Since you weren't into those games, then it was a hit, you know. So,
Right.
Yeah.
And they did a good job of making sure it caters to different skill levels basically.
Well, it seems too like it seems like it's changed from the old Fire Emblems where it is a little bit more welcoming to people who haven't played those type of games.
Yeah, and that may be the case. I've never played any of the old ones, and I'm sure that's the thing though. Even if like series veterans are wanting something more challenging and more engaging, they can't really complain. I mean, you can always just turn up the difficulty. And,
Game of Thrones mode, yeah.
Exactly. So again, it kind of welcomes beginners, but then also satisfies veterans, I guess.
Jordan, what's your experience with Fire Emblem?
I have never played a Fire Emblem game, so zero. Yeah, but it definitely interests me. It's funny to me the fact that they basically just released 3 games.
Yeah.
Then they should have just said that they were doing that, kind of like with the Zelda being a Western RPG thing. It's like, you're just releasing 3 games, we get it. But it doesn't take away any of my interest. I think it's really cool that, like, I'm totally down with the fact that they released 3 games. I think that's cool. I think that the branching paths that you take are interesting, and they had some weird censorship issues with like petting your spouses and all that, but I still think that it's interesting, the relationships that you build and have kids and all that, which was part of Massive Chalice as well. So I definitely think it's got something to it, and people are saying it's even better than Fire Emblem Awakening, which was, back when that came out, people were saying that was one of the best Fire Emblem games. So I may try it out if I end up getting a 3DS at some point.
So, Dom, do you think with your experience that you'll definitely look forward to when new Fire Emblem things are announced? Like, since you weren't really in that vein, you didn't care about that franchise, now that you've played this, when you hear, like, at an announcement, like, Fire Emblem something, there's information, will you be, happy that you're hearing about this? Since you're...
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, my ears are perked now.
Yeah.
Permanently, so
you're following the franchise at this point.
Yeah. That's really cool. It's an interesting take on that, because Fire Emblem seems like a game where, it's very hard to get new people in just because it seems so intimidating. But, if you take that jump, apparently it's going to pay off because it's going to be something you could possibly enjoy and like. So that's really cool to hear.
Especially for something on a portable platform, too.
Yeah, maybe that helps with it, too, though, because you have this time where you can't really be playing a console game. So you're like, well, I have my portable device. I'll play this, see how it is. And it's a different kind of experience. So maybe that lent to you actually enjoying it more. You never know.
Yeah, definitely.
I like having long games portably because it's like, they can be taken in bite sizes, but it's like just kind of like, over 6 months of your life you've been carrying this game with you, and I like that.
Yeah, it's like you can play this between birthday parties or plane flights, or you can sit down and binge it while you sit down. So it's like you have the option. So
yeah, man, I absolutely hope to God that portable gaming stays around and we don't end up with just phones. I mean, I would hope that Sony makes another Vita, and it seems like Nintendo is at least in some form going to continue with portable gaming too, with the NX or whatever they decide to do.
So
Viva la vida.
Hopefully.
Thanks again, everyone, for watching and or listening. If you like what you heard, be sure to give those like and subscribe buttons a quick click. Every little contribution can help to make our channel grow. Also, be sure to follow us on Twitter at CTRLINT. That's Controlled Interest. See you later.